Hey guys, Peter Melhorn, what's up? Howdy from Lake Wylie. I'm out doing some catfishing today. So hang around for a little bit and you can see what's going on. We're doing it live, so you'll either watch it live or you'll watch it taped later. But either way, I just came on a second ago and there was something funky with the thing telling me to turn the screen, and I don't like vertical video. So the world is not vertical. So it's flat. We all know that. Country girl catfish, and yes, I am back. I can see now. I can actually see the screen. It was really, really dark a minute ago. So anyway, yeah, out drifting on Lake Wylie, trying to catch some catfish. Got one in the boat so far, and that's it. So I've got 6 rods in the water, 4 on planer boards, 2 straight out the back. So I've got a nice, probably, I don't know, 60, 70 foot spread here of baits. I've got brim, I've got white perch. So that's what we're dragging. So I'm not sure what's going to happen today. I feel kind of out of tune with the fishing. I don't feel one yet with the fish. I've made a long drag. I'm in the about the upper end before you get into the river, about as far as you can go. There's one creek over here near me. Is pretty much the last major feeder creek on the lake, and it kind of gets riverine after this. This is an area that's real current driven. I'm going to adjust that a little bit because I slouch. It's real current driven. They release water pretty much every afternoon now in the summertime. And so that plays into what's going on with the bites. So there was a tournament last night on the lake, a one-fish tournament, which I love that idea. I love a one-fish tournament. I think that's awesome, especially for new people that are getting into fishing, don't have huge live wells and all that kind of stuff, carry around one fish, and it also I think it levels the playing field some. So anyway, I love that. I don't know who won it. If anybody knows, chime in. I'd like to hear what my prediction was. 36, I think 36, 38 pounds is what I predicted to be the winning weight. So if anybody knows what won that, please chime in and let me know. I'll be curious to see what the winning weight was. Not a lot of boat traffic yet. It's going to be pretty warm today. Summer day, so people will be out here. Hey, bud, what's up? Who got on there? Oh, blue dog fishing. Very cool. Somebody's just chimed in with... Oh, that's one of my fishing buddies texted me. I talked to a buddy that's out here fishing, and it was kind of slow on him, too. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes, believe it or not, in the middle of the summer, the middle of the day can be the best bite. So I did take some guys out, or some kids out yesterday. Hey man, what you fishing with today? Riley, I've got perch and brim out right now. So that's all I'll have out because that's all the bait I've got. I've caught a bunch of, I took some kids out. A guy I work with wanted to take his kids fishing. And so we took them out yesterday. They were young and they did real good. They made it 3 hours, which is impressive for, I think they were 4 and 6 or something like that. They caught their first fish ever. I was catching bait before we went because we were going to go catch some catfish, and so I got there before they did. I pulled in the back of a creek in a little cove, and I found a bunch of tires that somebody had in there for beds, and there were brim stacked up on them, and I'm talking big brim. And I caught 1 or 2, and I said, I'm going to bring the kids back. So we went back in there, and I looked like a genius because I caught those brim, or got them to catch those brim so easily, but it was really... It was like shooting fish in a barrel because they were just stacked up on top of them tires. So they got their first fish there. And we caught a couple of brim. Then we went out and did some drifting for some catfish. The bite was slow. I think we only caught 1 catfish. It's about 3 or 4 pounds, and it was the greatest thing in the world for the one young man. That's awesome. That's cool. And then we found a bunch of perch, and they got to catch perch 2 at a time, which was the coolest thing in the world. The coolest thing in the world just kept changing as the day went on. So I told them to come back in the fall when the bite's good, and we'll put them on a bigger fish. So I'm hoping that happens. Morning. The water looks clear considering the rain yesterday. Yeah, there was actually some water in my boat when I got out that blew into it under the carport out there. We got a pretty good little band of rain that came through yesterday, and there's probably some runoff in the back of the creeks. I think if I rolled into the back of Paul Creek or Catawba Creek or some of these other ones, or maybe run on up the river, there'll probably be some runoff and some muddy stuff, but I think it was not long enough or widespread enough to really cause any. I looked at the lake level, there's really not much of a change in them. So yeah, it definitely hasn't sparked a bite because fishing ain't great so far. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep dragging bait. What I'm going to do, I'm doing it kind of backwards today. Morning, Dieter. Hope you didn't run out of liver yet. No, I've got plenty of liver because chickens come to the water and shed their livers. People don't know that, but that's why catfish eat chicken liver, is because chickens, prehistoric chickens, of course, this is something that's just passed down, is that they would come to the river and get rid of their livers once they decided they didn't need them. And catfish would eat them. So it's in their DNA to eat chicken liver. People don't know that, but look it up. It's on Google or somewhere, so look that up. Anyway, yeah, the livers today are white perch and brim. And by the way, throw some thumbs up if you like the video. YouTube likes to see thumbs ups, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. That way you can be notified, which probably everybody on here got notified that I was going live. So stay up to date on everything that's going on. Hopefully, actually, do this. Throw up a thumbs up if you got notified about this. I'm curious because I read stuff on this whole YouTube notification thing, and not everybody gets notified. Some do, some don't. So I find that kind of odd. You would think that every subscriber would be notified when you come on. I don't know. It seems like that would work that way. The general, as for the fishing goes, back to fishing, what I'm hearing from people is that it's kind of what I'm finding in the fishing is that it's kind of scattered. There are pockets of really, really good fishing and a lot of areas without any good fishing. So I'm curious how that's playing out on some other lakes around the country. Y'all can chime in with any comments on that, because I'm kind of curious how that's playing out. Time of day seems to be real important right now. I've heard some, cool, got the notification, awesome. I'm hearing some different stuff. Obviously, a lot of people fish at night right now. You have an option on YouTube. You can either get notified every time somebody goes live or part of the time. Oh, okay, cool. There you go. I learn something every day. Hit the little ball next to the subscribe and choose to get notifications. Yep, that's it, exactly. Hit that little gear thing up there, and I think you can hit the bell too. There's a bell or something you can hit, and that handles your notifications. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm hearing some different stuff. The guys that fish at night, there seems to be a window when fish bite, which is typical in the summer. Usually it's that first couple hours, unless there's a lot of boat traffic, then it's like, you know, that 10 to midnight range, and then it like shuts down. So seems to be real time specific right now with what's going on. So we'll see what happens. Not a herd rod. Not a herd rod. No. No. I'm going to try going to, I'll tell you what I am going to try to do, and I may do this later today. I'm going to try doing a live video and go into a little depth on the Santee rig. I've got a video I've done before showing the basic of a Santee rig, how it works. But I'm thinking about doing one to go a little more in depth with the different sinkers. And let's see what we got here. Went last week into Kentucky and knocked out. Very cool. Very cool. Good fishing out there. Anyway, I was going to do something a little in-depth on the Santee rig and some of the options with sinkers and corks and floats and hooks and rattles and all that kind of stuff, because some people are curious about that. I've gotten some messages, I've got a fly in my eye, from people asking about some of the different stuff. And I think I'm going to go over that, do one and just go a little bit in depth, because some of the things I do are, I just think people, it's not that I think they know it, it's that I take for granted that everybody just knows it, and they really don't. And yesterday was a good awakening with those guys who had not fished, and even the father who had not done a lot of fishing, was that there's a lot of stuff I do, and it really just, you just do it, and you think everybody knows why you're doing it, and they don't. And, you know, that's part of the, using this as a tool to help educate people, is going into some detail on that. How are you telling the difference between males and female cats? I hear you down some. Oh, it's a very good question. And there comes the sun, and it's hard to see. Generally speaking, the males have a much bigger mouth than the females do. So you ask how we know that. Honestly, it's because I've kept enough fish and cleaned them, and the smaller ones, and found eggs and stuff in them, in the females. The females generally have a very small mouth. Those are the ones we've always found eggs in when we've cleaned them and stuff in the spring. and the males you don't. The males, and you can really tell it really well with the channel catfish. They get a very wide, big mouth. You never see their bodies get, especially pre-spawn, get really, really big. They start to get on the tops of their head, this swelling going on, and these little nodules up here that swell up. And they never get that really big egg sac carrying. You can tell, if I had two of them side by side, you could tell a difference in the two. And the males will usually end up at the end of the spawn, especially in a competitive area where there's a lot of nesting and beds, beat up bad. I mean, they will have a lot of marks on them and just torn up fins and everything else from the fighting and protecting the nest and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, you can tell a difference. And usually at the end of the spawn, the males look just like long and emaciated. I mean, they're just, you can tell they've not been eating a lot. So, so yeah, there is a visible difference there. The channel catfish males especially get really, it's almost a purple look. Their heads and stuff will get really, really dark. They almost look like a blue catfish that's been in really clear water, just real dark coloring and stuff. And happens to a lot of fish during this when they start spawning is, you know, the coloration change. You see that with the bluegill. They get really just, as like a lot of animals and, you know, birds and everything else, they get a breeding plumage, and the same thing with fish. They get, I guess, jacked up on whatever hormones, and their color really starts to blow up and get really, just really, you know, vibrant and stuff. So some of the bluegill we caught yesterday were some males, some big ones, and real good coloration to them. But yeah, part of it is just looking at them for a long time. Oh, by the way, if Beth Westmoreland jumps in here, Beth, I need you to jump in and say hey, and I got to tell you something that's real funny. But anyway, I thought I heard something, no, but I made a long drift through here and have not put but one fish in the boat. So I'm not feeling very optimistic here. May have to make a move here. Oh, by the way, any of you guys that have come up to me and said hey at the boat ramp, hey at the grocery store, hey at the gas station, hey, if you see me out, say hey. There was one guy I talked to the other day that was staring at me, and I was like, oh God, what's, you know, and turns out he thought I was the guy from the videos, and I was. So anyway, yeah, don't be shy, come up, say hey. Met some really cool people out here since I've been doing this, and it's nice to talk to you and say hey and see what's going on and see if you're catching any fish and seeing what you think about everything. So anyway, what's going on there? Got some thumbs up, some comments. I wish I had more fish action, but it's just not happening so far this morning. Oh, something we're gonna, what was that? You taught me a lot. Very cool. I'm glad some people are learning something. It's, as I tell everybody, it comes in little drips of information. It's, none of my videos are bullet point, you know, here's how you catch, the 5 steps to catching catfish. I haven't, not that I won't do one of those that's kind of hit some bullet points, but there's a lot of little nuggets of information and stuff that just come in all of them, and you just kind of pay attention long enough, you'll pick up on some stuff. That's what I need to do, is a whole bunch of the 5 best fishing hooks, the 5 secrets for catching catfish, 5 catfish hacks for catching catfish with corn and pinto beans, or some kind of weird crap like that. So anyway, that's something we're going to try to do. Let's get y'all's opinion on this. Hopefully you subscribe to Catfish Weekly here on YouTube. They come on every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Very cool show. They just hit 1,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. They're doing cool stuff. I think Luke Henches is going to be on there this weekend, or this coming Monday. He's from Northwoods Angling. Another one you need to subscribe to. But it's a good program. It's growing. We need more people. I say we need more people. More people need to subscribe. I'm not a part of it, but I think it's a good program, and I think it's a good tool for catfish anglers everywhere. So make sure you subscribe. What we're going to try to do, and get y'all's opinion on this, I told those guys, we need some of us that do this live fishing stuff to make it into like a Monday Night Raw of catfish in the wrestling world, to where we have some other bouts leading up to Catfish Weekly, and maybe somebody going live afterwards. So we may try doing that on Monday if it's possible, is to have some people go live. And what's that? Yeah, okay, I seen some comments in. Are limited to one fishing. Yeah, those poor people in Minnesota can only fish with one pole, and we're lucky we're able to fish with as many as we want to here. But yeah, thinking about doing that, doing like a show before that, having Catfish weekly, and then maybe get somebody on the West Coast or something, or out west to do something after. So you got like a whole Monday night of live stuff. So it's all spinning from me being addicted to watching live PD every Friday and Saturday night, to where it's just 3 hours of people getting the crap beat out of them and dogs biting them. I just love when dogs bite people on live PD. That's just so much fun. But anyway, I think I'm going to jump off here for now. I think I'm going to make a run down the lake, try something different. I pulled an hour here and caught one fish with brim over shad. Well, I'm going to answer that question. And I've only got one fish, which has been about a fish an hour has been the catch rate lately, so it's not been real good. What makes me choose brim over shad is nothing really. I mean, it's easy to catch fish on brim right now in the summertime. Fish seem to key on them and feed on them a lot. Nothing wrong with using shad. I mean, if you got them and can catch them, use them, you'll catch fish on those too. It's not really that big of a predator. They're just, right now, brim are real easy to catch, and catfish, especially the flatheads, seem to really like them. So nothing wrong with shad. That's what I've got and what I'm using. Shell's here watching you from the... Oh, cool. Somebody's watching from the water. Awesome. That's cool. Isn't it amazing? This technology is amazing right now. 5 years ago, I would have never fathomed that, get it, fathom, a little nautical term, would be able to actually do this. Me watch somebody fish, much less somebody watch me fish. I think it's very cool. It's amazing. It's amazing where it's going and where it's going to be. So, I mean, it's just going to keep growing, and it's, with all the bad stuff that comes from the internet, there's a lot of good stuff, and this is one of them. It's a great educational tool for people, so... Innovation, brother. It's a cool thing. Yeah, it's progress. You can't be scared of it. You got to embrace it. I see too many people my age that are, I hear too much of the, I ain't getting on Facebook, or I ain't getting on none of that. Well, I'm telling you, buddy, you're just coming to a screeching halt, and you're starting to sound like a dinosaur and an old person when you do that, because when you don't embrace technology and progress and everything else, you're just going to get left behind. And there's too much good to come from it, too much knowledge, and too much information, and there's entertainment. So, I mean, let's face it, if I was sitting around at my desk right now, I'd probably have Luke or Chris Flores up if they were going live watching it while I'm drinking my morning coffee. So, you know, it's cool. It's better than what I can find on TV to watch, so there you go. But, yeah, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to try to get on, if I get on some fish or some kind of decent bite, I'm going to come back on. Not hopeful that's going to happen, but... keep your eyes peeled for something on the Santee rig detail thing. I may try to do that this afternoon from the house. I'll have a real good internet connection in, and try to set it up so I can take some questions. So that'll be cool. And let me know what you think in the comments section after this post. Somebody had mentioned to me about somehow notifying people when I'm getting ready to go live, and it's kind of hard. So what I was thinking about doing, I know there's a way to like text people, to like, you can register your text number or something, and or phone number, and get text a message. You know, I've seen restaurants do it to where, you know, they basically get you there, and you know, instead of giving you a beeper, they text you when your table's ready. And what they end up doing later is do promotions and stuff with it and all that, which I don't want to get into that. But it might be, I don't know if that's something people would like or not like. I'm just kind of curious, or if the notification here enough. Some people like to be able to plan to be somewhere where they can watch it. I don't know. I like that. For me, the notification is plenty. But I don't know. I guess it would be cool if I knew something was coming on, or a reminder of it, or this is going to happen at a certain time. I don't know. After this video post, give me your ideas on that in the comment section, because I'd like some thoughts on that. That's something moving forward down the road. It might be cool to have something, or do something through my website where people can sign up or something like that. So, not getting notifications. So that may be something there that I could do through my website, is if you want to do that, you can sign up for it, and then you could get a text message. I could sit here and say, hey, I'm going to go live in 20 minutes, you know, FYI. See, somebody else didn't get a notification. That's very interesting. Make sure they're turned on, and look at the settings. I'm going to look at the settings on that and learn more about it. and just see what's going on with it. So I'm glad you made it though. Thanks for coming over and watching. I appreciate everybody comes and watches and comments especially. That's awesome, because it gives me ideas and content and stuff that I can go over with you guys. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna jump off here for now. Keep your eyes peeled. I may get back on later, and thanks for watching, and hope you go catch some fish.